Sure, I can cut that off, I can. You don't hear that air pressure running?
No, I don't have any hearing aids.
Oh.
Yeah, just do the switch off.
We got that, but that's it.
I know what's happening, yeah, ain't one.
Oh, yeah, that's how come we don't have it in mind. They used to.
Nobody don't use, I wanted something South Pittsburgh.
Oh, we're in a national, I bet it didn't have 50,000 miles on it.
No,
69.
And they sold over.
Internet, 69.
It had, I think it had 42 or something like that. You can bring about $1,200.
Remember night that rolled into town over.
They make a good, old hay truck.
Hey, truck thing.
Just an old.
Full one, because he had a.
Hey,
Oh.
The boy bought it, he came down here to buy it, he know Jamie Crickle, me and Terry over with him, he got a gated community, and he wanted to come make his fire rating go down and stuff, he come and fought
Did it still run? Did it still run?
Neighbors.
Still run everything.
Yeah. Practice on a house over on First Street with it.
Ours was like brand new, I looked at
Had
it.
any more motors on it?
You look car shows going, I don't know.
City auction went off here years ago, 65 miles or 75 miles.
Is that siren, is it still over? That thing set out here, remember Daddy had that store? They gave a Daddy them that siren, and it sit between the store and the restaurant here for years and years and years. Mike cut his finger, Michael would cut his finger off on it.
This old woman had over when it failed.
Yeah, cause everybody, Daddy had sitting on concrete, and everybody went out there, won't turn, won't play with it. Mike, cut his finger off.
Turning?
Turning on siren, siren, but it sat there for years and years and years.
What's his name, supposed to be trying to get.
Steve Lamb.
Steve Lamb, supposed to be trying to give me some information on how to obtain one.
We'll open meeting the 22nd of August, 2022. Always open up with prayer request. Remember the Pauline Barn family. Pauline passed away a couple of weeks ago. She's from over here on Pine Grove Road up there. So 93. Yeah, so y'all remember that. I think Barbara was on the one. Yeah, Barbara. Anybody else have anybody put on the prayer list? Remember, go ahead.
Remember Chauncey. They go to a kidney doctor Wednesday, and a regular doctor Wednesday morning. Yeah, I haven't seen her house has been locked up for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
She not there?
I guess she's out of jury, I don't know.
Yeah, I rode around there just a minute ago, turned around her driveway, didn't see her.
Got closed.
Yeah, didn't see her.
Remember my sister-in-law, Stacy Myers, she's 62 and got cancer, and they're just trying to keep her easy, just trying to maintain the best they can. They're supposed to just give her a year to live. She's coming up on that. She's got a grandbaby due in September. She's trying to hang on to the first grandbaby there. So, yeah, not her. Anybody else? How's the old doing?
That's fine.
Remember Nancy Blevins? I got a bad report from her family.
Who?
Nancy James.
James, right?
No.
Of course, sorry, remember our men and women who serve this country, past, present, and future. Remember homeless people, some choose that life, some do not, regardless they're homeless. And then all our emergency people and policemen that throughout the country protect us, firemen, teeth. Anybody else got any prayer requests? Y'all still looking for a preacher, pastor up at the church?
Looking for one.
Very good for one, Clinton, him still looking for one out there at the church, so remember them.
I've had 4 come in, but they were just local, they just preach where they're invited. So I've got one that, I got a guy called and give me a number of a guy yesterday, so I'm gonna contact.
Anybody else? Well, if not, I'll have Quentin, if you got a hand, I'll just take it off just a minute, please, Quentin, have prayer.
Lord, we come to you tonight, we thank you for the day, thank you for all your blessings. Pray for all these that's been made mention of, we pray, Lord, you touch there and their families. Lord, bless our nation, bless our city, we pray, Lord, that we carry out things in a way to be pleasing to you. We give you the praise. Amen.
Everybody looked over the minutes there, we have any additions, relations to the minutes? If not, I hear motion to accept the previous minutes.
Make a motion.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor saying aye? Aye. John, you got anything?
I had one arrest, and a couple of warnings, besides fooling with them vehicles, been broke down 2 weeks, it's been close, it's been quiet.
Derek, what do you got?
Just finished up a CPR class, and so everybody's qualified to do CPR. So hopefully we never have to use it, but we do, well, we got people that's qualified to handle it. And as far as calls, we've been, I hate to say it, but it's been pretty quiet. Usually we say that, if something happens.
Knock on wood? Yeah. Knock on wood. County come over and got the road mowed, some of that. Putting on some. Gary, have we anything from the state in the budget, being accepted, the budget? It did?
It was approved.
Okay. Just like when, just past week or something, or?
They emailed me on the 18th.
Jason, like I told you, we'd discuss it, if you're gonna be the spokes, I'd just rather one, if we can, you know, and if everybody be peaceful, I told you we'd discuss it, and, that's what I like to do, and we'll look for you.
Okay, well, what is y'all's plan, you know?
Well, that's why we're here tonight, I told you we'd discuss it in August there. As far as the budget goes, the money, what we've got left is in miscellaneous, $20,000. And I was informed by Billy and Clinton last month, we just discussed some things, that we gotta have a dump truck, am I correct on that? Billy and Clinton, you wasn't here, so we got a dump truck down. Got 2 patrol cars that's being fixed, we're down to 1. Well, what I'm going with that, we had that, so, but, I mean, tell us what I guess what I'm asking, it seems like the fuel tank has been brought up, it's to want to be moved. I guess what I just, if you don't mind, explain to me why is it so imperative that we move the fuel tank?
That's 70 foot over on, past what Granddaddy gave me, you know, or dig it up. And half the building is, we come down there and tried to talk about the fuel tank a long time ago.
talking, all right?
Yeah, I'm not,
Been there 40 years, now it's a problem, I guess, is what I'm trying to.
well, ever since we got into, me and you, about the logging over here on the line.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting into it.
Everybody got their
Yeah.
peas in a
Wait a
wad.
minute, wait a minute now, I understand that, I let Jason hear, if you don't mind.
He's doing fine.
Go ahead, Jason.
Right, that was 4 or 5 years ago, I don't remember. But, you know, you was gonna shut work down. You said, we're done here. We're gonna shut work down on our line. And I appreciate it, and that's when we said something about the tank. Moved on. Come in here, you said you was gonna have a survey then. You passed it around the board here that you paid for the survey. And then nobody could remember about that. Nobody could remember passing that. So we went and had one done. We paid for it. This is what you got. You got the neighbor over there infringing on what we did give you. You know, and then you take them from us. And it's just not that's not a fire hall over there, that's storage. That deed specifically says to be used as a volunteer fire department or abandoned. So I'm not fighting the abandonment part, you know, it don't say nothing about a city hall, it gives you permission to use it as a fire hall.
It's not either or, it's one or the other. You understand?
I feel you're in violation of the deed, you know, and if we can't get just plank moved by coming down here for years, might as well get it back out of it. You got 23 acres over here, man. You can throw that stuff anywhere you want. You need all your vehicles under one roof, I would think. So 2 sets of keys, 2 different buildings. And you've had it for 48 years. My granddaddy gave you that to help you out to become a city, you know? And now you kinda taking from him,
You got bigger.
taking from his legacy, you know, here, what he left them to, you know, what's left from my family. It's just growing and growing. I don't know, we just don't, not to be ill or nothing like that, but we feel like we've been run over and don't appreciate it, you know?
Well, it's not grew none over there since I've been here. I mean, that's all done prior to me getting elected, being the mayor. Nothing's grew as far as the landscape of the property. Nothing's been added to anything over there. It's what's been there for how many years?
Y'all should have had
The
a survey.
fuel tank was there before I got here, man. In the building and all that.
Say, they've been there 48 years.
Yeah.
I worked on that building in 2 different areas,
I
2
think.
different times, and there was a good addition on it. I know that one it was, cause I come done it when I was working for myself, in probably 93 or 94. I done the offices, and laid carpet in that back room back there, and I was working for myself there.
We're not fighting that it's hadn't grown or, you know, I ain't gonna, don't care about looking back at records to see if it did.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
plainly in the wrong spot. You can blame it on granddaddy. I should've had it surveyed then, you know? And I know it's situated to how the landscape is there. It don't matter, that's what he gave you, not this.
I don't know.
And it's not a fire hall no more.
Well, I'm one, so I've got a board right here, so y'all heard, I'm sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead, I understand.
I got a board here, so. You've heard what's been presented here tonight, so, well, let me, before we go any further, Jason, as far as fire hall job goes, it's still being served as a fire hall. Let me finish before anybody says anything. And I'd love to move out of it. I'm gonna be straight up with you, who write it down, whatever you wanna do here. I'd love to move out of it. Right now, we still got the fire trucks over there, service fire hall. I have called and talked to the man called Chuck Hammonds, which is over, Southeastern Development District. now about grant money or, it's grant/local match money. Not match money, I'm trying to think of the right word. Monies to do things. I said, any monies out there at all? He said, you can go through rural development grants, is what they've got. I said, well, it helped me get money to either build a fire hall or a city hall or whatever. He said, you could apply, but you're looking at 2 years. I'm looking at 2 years due to the fact when you have to file for a grant and get it and the cost of getting the materials now. I said, there's nothing any sooner than that. He said, I will check. This is today, where I can make sure I was right on the money. As far as the fuel, the fire hall, I got nowhere to go. I mean, we still got fire trucks. Would I like to move them out there if we had space? My opinion, yes.
Yes.
I'm speaking for the, let me please finish. There's a time frame. And in the time frame that we would have to do something, you know, legal counsel is gonna have to be obtained to do things. I have no way around that. I don't have, it's got to be done. And I know y'all are not the fans of Tracy, I understand, that's beside the point now, but I still gotta use it.
We're talking about one-sided legal counsel or?
Well, if y'all get an attorney too, I don't know the legalities on that, I'm being honest with you. I'm not saying we don't need to move argument, but to get it done, there's gotta be legal things to be done. I can't say, here it is, y'all, here's y'all fire hall, I can't do that, I don't have.
Yeah, there's gotta be papers, I know.
Yeah. So we're gonna be in the fire hall for a while, I'm gonna tell you that. Now, as far as the fuel tank goes, myself, I don't see, I mean, we could either move the fuel tank or go to cards, yes, and Billy mentioned that. And I have talked to Mayor Jackson about that, we don't have the cards, the fuel cards work. They still about 4 cities in the county out of 8 that still gets fuel at their local place, South Pittsburgh, us, Crossroads, and Mont Eagle. The rest get them at wherever they're at, Kenmore, Jasper, Whittle. Anyway, point being, I have to check on that. I don't have a problem with that, but I guess what I'm asking here, if we move the fuel tank or quit using the fuel tank, then what's the repercussion? You just want it moved, or, I mean, I'm asking you, or we're gonna have a fence down beside us right over there to get out the fire hall, what, or you just want the fuel tank off the property?
I want all the property back.
Well, I understand, we're talking about fuel tank right now, though.
Well, just a few minutes ago, you said, we're gonna be in the fire hall. That's
Well,
the
till
way
I
it's
can
going.
do something, till I can do something,
I'll let you finish, Mark. Let me finish.
I go with it.
Just a minute ago, you said, we're gonna be in the fire hall, that's just the way it's gonna be. That's what you said.
Till we can move on.
Yeah,
That's the way I took it.
And when y'all was at that table and y'all agreed, we sat right here and I said there was a police car over there and a boat, and there wasn't nothing much in there. And then, the next month, come back, oh, we can't talk about that now, we're gonna get this money, it's COVID money, and we're gonna work on it with that. And now, and I said, I'm talking months, not years. And now here he goes, years.
It's 6
I'll be
months.
dead.
That was 6 months ago when the
That
fuel
was-
cards was brought up,
That was
and when all this was brought up, and we waited till August. Survey's done in February.
Board got any comments on anything? I'm not gonna sit here and just get y'all full of hoes, anybody?
Well, by what time I've been in the city, out here on the board, if we buy or another building or add on to this one, it's got to go before the state or somebody, it has to be approved before it has to be put out for bids. And I don't know how long stuff like that takes. I've never been involved in anything like that, so I don't know. As far as the fuel tank, if that'll calm things down a little bit, I don't have a problem moving the fuel tank.
Let me ask y'all this, okay? If we move the fuel tank, will y'all be okay, give us a little time still to move out of this building and all that stuff, give us time to go through the loopholes we got to go through? Cause they do got to go through the loopholes, I can tell you that
I
now.
know that, but it shouldn't have done started on these loopholes.
everybody knows that.
What's a little time?
Everybody knows
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But we're at the point right now where we are starting, right
If
now.
we can.
Okay,
we-
Right now, we're starting today. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a headache to y'all, I know it's a damn big headache to y'all. But y'all been fighting this for a long time, and now we're at a point where we are, everybody kinda agreeing, you know, we should move out of that old building. You know, just give us time to work on it, but, and we can move that fuel tank or get cards or something, you know, if we all will probably agree with that. I mean, we just need time, you know what I'm saying?
how much time do you
But
think?
nobody here probably
I
can
can
tell
do,
you.
when we do, if I have to apply for a grant or apply for money, it's gotta be the capital outlay
That
notice.
COVID money didn't come through?
Yeah, it only goes so far.
That's what you're planning on moving.
It is, we took 20,000, put over the miscellaneous, but we still operate stuff, and I got another 80,000 coming. You gotta realize, I have to go through and find out what I can spend that money on. It's called, it's a CARES Money Act, is what it is. And I'm still, and they're still not knowing actually what we can spend the money on. They still want to say, well, you can spend on this, you can spend on that, I don't know
Y'all
for
won't
sure.
never come up with the money if it's gonna be like that.
From what I've read, if you to take property from us, you owe us just compensation for said property.
It's in the
And it's
Constitution.
been like that, I mean, for a long time. I mean,
Let me just,
I don't know.
let me do that here. I'm willing to work with you, I'm willing to get moved, if that's what you want. You won't drag that, get your attorney, we'll get ours, and we'll find out in court. I'm willing to work out here with you. We're starting today, we gotta start somewhere, we're starting today. I don't have a problem. And board, I mean, Billy just laid it out there too, now, I mean, I still gotta do things. We gotta start somewhere, we're starting. Now, you can hold what against me, what you want, I'm willing to start, we're willing to work with you to do what we gotta do.
Well, let's do it,
Well, that's what I'm trying to do, Mike.
let's do it. And
Well,
not
I've gotta
talk
figure
about
out what to do.
it. It's not too complicated,
It
other
is on
than
this
y'all's
end.
loopholes.
there's a lot of animosity here, cause it's built up for so long, you know,
Yeah.
on both sides. I
Yeah,
understand
yeah, it
that.
is, I mean.
But if you'll start with the fuel tank, like I said 6 months ago, you know, show me some good faith here, some movement towards y'all getting out, maybe even some papers saying we'll be out by this date, whenever possible. Yeah, we're not unreasonable. You ain't gonna have to deal with no fence. That's the second time we answered that question about the fence. We ain't gonna do that to you. But,
You're saying you just want the fuel tank, the concrete fuel tank and all moved.
They probably don't care about they probably don't care about the concrete.
yeah, I want that concrete
You want
moved.
concrete too?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause I ain't got no way of moving that big tank of concrete.
So you want the tank and concrete moved from that area,
Level, yeah.
and that's it. I mean, as far as fuel tank
Is
goes.
this-
For right now, yeah.
Is there a slab forward there, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's in
I
the
say they have to have a
containment.
footer under it or
It's a
something.
containment, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know if
You
that's-
know, that old ratty sign, get it thrown off or something, and we'll burn that brush, fuel tank gets out of there. Try to make that corner look a little better, but work on that, and then,
Now, and while we're talking, you know, we got a fire hydrant there, we use to fill up the fire truck stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta maintain that to keep the fire trucks,
we'll not keep it from using
we have to do that.
Now, the agreement was on that we could use that, there was no problem with that, we could use that.
Yeah.
No,
It's on state property.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on state.
I'm not gonna make it awkward on you getting your trucks in there or nothing, you know, but, you know. The fuel tank, when I called around to the city, or I mean, not to the city, to the states and all that, and they had one or two tell me that, yeah, it could become a liability, and, you know, we can't even sell that property next to it if we wanted to right now, cause y'all are on it. You know, you're keeping us, we can't even get rid of it, or do what we want to with it, because you're occupying it. And that's a fight, and we don't wanna fight. I told you 6 months ago, I'd rather do this talking about it, no lawyers involved, we don't need them. You know.
Well, I've got, there's gonna have to be a point, I have to, there's no way around that.
I know,
No,
legal
we want that.
documentation.
We don't want to hire one,
No, I understand.
we spent enough money on lawyers
But we'll have
and
to use
surveys
to do what we have to do.
and everything up there,
I have to.
trying to do a good deed, you
I
know. and-
understand.
Okay, let's see where we're at right now, let's see where I'm sold. Getting it moved, we got fuel and everything, so, by the end of December, have it completely done, removed, mowed and everything. That gives time to use what fuel's in it. John had it filled up not too long ago, so there's fuel in it. And then we have to get it moved and everything, and Billy and everybody knows, just finding somebody to do something right now is like an act of Congress. So, the board got anything they want, I mean, I'm just laying it out here. Clinton, Jerry, Billy.
December,
If we come back like next month, would you have some bids here on it?
Some more.
Bids?
Let's find out, I mean, I'm gonna turn it on to one of these
I
boys
mean,
here.
who does that? But have we
Like
got
several
a
people.
building inspector anymore?
We do.
Who?
Earl Gary.
Well, would it be his job to call around and get some?
No,
bids?
it'd be
Bill, one of us.
one of these boys right here on the board.
Okay.
I think y'all talking about I think he's talking about on a building over here.
No, he's talking about a fuel tank. ain't he?
No, I'm talking about getting that fuel tank.
Yeah,
You
fuel
said
tank.
by the end of December.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And by next month, you need to have some bids in.
Can
We
we-
can award it.
We can find, we can get somebody
I don't think I have to get no bid to stay below a certain amount.
for a certain
Yeah,
amount.
yeah.
Can we work on more than one issue at a time, you know, not just wait till December and then say, oh, well, we're gonna, you know, try to get the budget,
The budget passed, what's in miscellaneous, I believe we got enough left on that to get that done, but still, like I said, they brought up the dump truck deal too, you know. And there is still $80,000 out there that was not received yet on, American Rescue money, and still trying to wait on that, and I've got to see how it's gotta be spent.
We need a dump truck, we don't have a, I mean, it'd be nice if we had one where,
They figured we could use it over there, I
where
mean.
we could, everybody can live in the city, could get something, you know, gravel.
Yeah, we bought 40
But-
ton last week.
You know, you can't get this, you can't get nobody to do nothing, it's hard to get anybody, you can't get nobody to work no more.
Can you go ahead and start applying for the grants is what I was getting at.
Yeah, that's a year out.
Well,
Yeah, but,
it's
yeah.
better than being a year and 6 months out.
I'll get with Chuck again on that, and be rural development, and you gotta be approved. There's a process, sir, I'm not just telling you, I'm telling you, it's process. It took us 18 months, I think, somewhere in that on this hard hop. And that's when things was good, Jason, when you can get grants, get them fast, and get them good, you had somebody in Nashville working for you. Our state representative now is over in Marshall County.
Let me ask you this too,
Yes.
while we're talking, this fuel tank, do we wanna move it over here, or what we wanna do? I mean, that's what we need to do.
Well, I don't know what kind of shape that is, it's even feasible to move over here, if it's, or see what the cards, and we can get them, they're set up through the government, you know, I have to get them set up through the government.
That's why I'm saying, you might wanna go ahead and try to get the, if you just gonna get it work, cause if we get bids, we gotta tell the guy who removed that what we want done, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just get it out of here, you know
Well,
what
John, you
I'm
in
saying?
jail, sir, how you feel about the cards, you'd rather?
I don't have a problem one way or the other.
I mean, it's probably easier with them anyway, cause they're like,
Oh, this is easier.
well, if you stand out there in the rain, it might not be. Well, is that easier than going to the store?
I mean.
there's his gasoline.
Y'all's diesel, but y'all fill up over there anyway.
Yeah, we fill up in town. Let me see. We've only got one gasoline vehicle, the rescue truck's gasoline. So they will have to make sure that,
Well, that'll get a third car and you hold it.
Yeah.
oh, well, that's like the gas keys that over there. Nobody's had this one but me for,
I mean, that's what we could do, you're the chief, and you'd hold the gas card, John would hold one, and Jeff would hold one.
okay.
It's easy to say which one of y'all three done it, then Ben, everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry have one. I mean, it's,
Well, that card number show up on, who
Yeah.
buys fuel anyway, it show us,
Yeah.
card number, yeah.
Okay, as long as we have,
So that's all I ever use anymore, card, buy
as
fuel.
long as we're able to get gasoline for the chainsaws and the rescue truck.
well, we can get three cars, and y'all hold them, and you got, be held responsible for them, it's on y'all, the way that, used, and you'll get a printout. I'll get Dave Jackson, see how that's laid out on that,
Yeah.
So,
I think most of them go through Fuel City or something, and you can use it.
well, there's too many times, I'm not for sure.
County uses, I know county uses it daily all the time.
Well, they use 4 or 5.
You know what I'm saying, they use everything, you know what I'm saying, I see them everywhere, but, you know.
All right, let's get, so we're at getting the fuel tank removed by the end of December, after deadline, have it moved and that done, and then get the fuel cards.
Yeah.
Johnny, how much Of course, fuel's in that, so how much is left in, so we use that out there. So that's where we're at there. The next project then will be working on what we gotta do to either, we gotta get engineer everybody, that's what I'm telling you, there's a lot that's going
Oh,
on.
yeah, there's a lot, I know
And
it's.
curtailment on when you start, I had to put a building up, you know, when I build from the state, then if we have to get any money from the state, then I gotta go through that, with count out there and find this, it's not an overnight process.
I know if we sell 60 building, I asked him the other day when he won't sell it, he said, he didn't want to sell it. Roy, really, you know, Roy.
And the cost of metal went up threefold since it started. I don't want block to get down the way. But anyway, we're gonna get that started. We got that. Let me go and put that into, let me go and put this into the form of a motion, first and second, and all agreeing on, put this in the form of a motion, that, the fuel tank and its containment be removed by December the 31st, 2022. We'll do it
I'll
first.
make a motion to that.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
All in favor saying aye? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Second thing to go on is that we, do the fuel cards. We'll get a motion on that to do the fuel cards. Card holders be held Jerry Crossland, John Griffith, Jeff Graham, only. I'll get a
They
motion.
will vote on that.
You want to sustain from that? Okay, I hear get a
Make a
motion.
motion.
Hear a second. All in favor saying aye? Aye. Motion carries on that, so we had it in the minutes, that's done now. All right, anything else before we move on?
Chuck, you got anything?
I guess I just better be quiet.
Damn, you're getting smarter, Chuck, you.
All right. We'll move on to old business. Still, I got that dock up there still, do you need to get something on that?
We'll have to get measurements and everything, get lumber, I guess,
Okay.
see if we can get that help together, put it on there.
We need that new, I was over there, what needs that new stuff, you put down there?
Yeah.
What's it
Composite.
What's it called?
Composite.
Composite.
Yeah.
Is it expensive?
It's expensive, but it lasts a lifetime, I mean,
It's rubber.
it lasts forever.
Recycled bottles.
Well, it comes in different colors.
Yeah, I see.
So Lowe's has got it, I can get it
around here.
I can get it, I can get it through college cheaper than anybody can, cause, you know, we buy it through, we buy so much stuff through the work out there. I got a can up there, we can get it through there, but it lasts a lifetime, it would never rot.
Whenever y'all want to run that, y'all want to go up there and fish or dip fish or whatever, so.
I mean, whatever y'all wanna do, but, you know,
It's
it
cost a little more.
costs a little long run, but in the long run, it lasts
In
a
the long
lifetime.
run, it'd be cheaper,
Yeah, it lasts forever.
cause it won't go away.
No splinters.
I know man's good them decks, I watched him build one 2 years.
Put on there and nudge you.
We got a swimming pool.
Then we'll move on to new business, if I got new business. Once again, we'll bring up the dump truck, we're looking for one, everybody's kinda looking for one, we're gonna stay within that budget, about 10, 15, 18, if we can find one in that realm there.
We want a $40,000 truck for 18.
I think one sitting on the side of the road today at the dialysis clinic.
Everybody does, that's the same one we all look at.
35,000, for this thing, what does 5 fuses, 25 or 30 times a year, 35,000.
Yeah.
You don't need one quite,
That truck's in good shape.
it's in good shape.
It's pretty good.
35,000.
That's John Hughley's who it is.
Oh, okay. That's got a short bed on
It's 8 foot bed.
It's a good truck.
Oh, yeah, it's
Only got like 80-something thousand miles on it, it's a good looking truck. We all looked at it.
Yeah.
I've had 10 people call me and say, go look at that truck.
it. Well, whenever you get one with air conditioning.
Diesel, air
I'm doing air brakes. That thing, I dying when I was running it, I got sick of it.
The next thing on new business, and I'm gonna point Billy on this one right here, I'm gonna give him a good job today. And see how the board feels about it. Beginning to get more and more, about people's properties. Overgrown, abandoned houses, houses not fit to live in, that type of nature. And me and John been on the phone, with Tracy trying to find some things, and I don't like, I'm not a big fan, I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of what do the property, I'm not, I'm just not, I'm not one of them, but when you've got nice homes and stuff, you got somebody's got a house next to you, and the weeds are this time, these 10 cars out there, and garbage piled up on the porch, I mean, that's health, that's really a health problem, or issue, and it depreciates the other person's property, it does, and we do have ordinances in place. So, I got a form, I went to Brandon, we got a form that, Earl Gary gave me from Mont Eagle. What it is, it's a complaint form, and they've got, Alderman, whoever does it, has those, and when you've got that, you refer them to that person, and they go to them, and they fill out a complaint form, because here's one of that a lot of times, somebody might want to call in or something, say, don't tell who I am, don't say this, that, and other, and that kinda leaves me thrown on the bus. It does, but if you've got a complaint form, you say, here's what the complaint form, you fill it out, sign it, and we can help do a little something, that's my opinion now.
Well, we're gonna give their name out?
They'd have to sign a complaint form, and you'd bring them to the meeting, and
Well, that's what most people want to know, are you gonna give my name out?
but, what do you do? Who's got,
You know how people are.
Yeah, if you complain in your, you have problems signing the form.
I've been complaining 2 years about a certain house,
Yeah.
and done me no good.
And that's why I'm bringing up some of this stuff now.
But I told Quentin the other day, take for example, out there where Mr. and Miss Griffin used to live out there, right past your place, that house is burnt. And it's been burnt for how many years has it been burnt?
About 3 now.
Yeah.
About 3, don't.
And it's just,
And that's one of the points I'm kinda,
it needs to be cleaned up.
you know,
I've got a question, okay, here several years ago, when our neighbor had 100 and something roosters, is that be included in something like that?
We need to get something like
It
that
looked awful,
in your,
but it was the sound,
ordinance.
you just wouldn't
Ordinance.
believe what it sounded like, I told you.
there was fixing to be a kill in there and
Wish
the
that
rest
on
of the farm.
anybody.
don't say. Well, I know, but you don't.
They did it when I did, and,
Say, you don't want your neighbor to have 100 roosters, I guarantee you won't
Here's the issue you got in a rural city like we got.
Got ducks.
This is a rural city, and everybody knows that, and everybody's got horses, chickens, dogs. And years ago, it was brought up about a leash law, and I thought I was gonna get strung up right there, but I just didn't, one ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna fly over here. It's kinda the same way with other stuff, but what you'd probably talking about, Chuck, something that, we got noise ordinances, and that's, and they got definement on that, so.
It could be a radio, but
Yeah, and we got,
if you got 1,000 chickens and roosters there, that's okay. That's
No, we need, you need to say something like, well, if you got 20 acres, you can have 10 roosters. He had 2 acres and over 100 roosters.
And 150 doer running around.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah.
Let me just say right now, I've got 10 roosters I have to cull, and I'm gonna be keeping 2, and when you do a straight run, you don't know what you're gonna get, but I am gonna cull them, so I hope I'm not been a problem.
You wouldn't,
I don't mind it.
This guy was raised.
I've tried giving them away, and I can't, so I'm gonna cull.
Walk around in the yard.
All right, I got,
all day, every day.
hang on, I got one more thing here. We got 10-ton weight limits on drugs. And I've talked to Tracy about this, and I'm not real clear on the 10-ton weight limit. The reason I'm saying this, on the definement of that. Somebody, repetitive use, what is repetitive use? 3 times, half a dozen times, 6 months. All right, if we got 10-ton weight limit on it, then the concrete truck that's bringing the concrete to build the home, or the lumber to build the home, concrete truck has to come 5 times to make a pour, 6 times to make a pour. He's over 10 tons. So we make people post a bond, keep turning roads up, and I'm good with that, keep the roads from being tore up. Agriculture, you can't do anything with it. They have the right, chickens, hauling grain, so forth, they have the right to travel the roads, on city roads. So, what do y'all wanna do, how do you wanna do that? I've got him working on that. Definement of 10 ton, and then John talked about it. I mean, you're gonna, I can't call squash concrete over here and say, hey, your truck can only make one trip to build a house. They ain't gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. You bring in 2 loads, 3 loads of lumber, hey, you can't do that from Lowe's, that ain't gonna fly. So we're gonna hold them men to the same standards that the man's gonna log, or, you know what? We're gonna have some type of definement on what's repetitive use on the road. So I'm just gonna run that by y'all, got him working on that, because I'm not really clear on that. We have 10-ton weight limits, and I'm for 10 tons, keep turning city roads. But,
The main road is 10 tons?
no, the city roads, all the city
Okay,
roads.
lucky, okay.
Yeah, no, the main road's 80,000, it's a state highway, just like we put on the interstate in Florida. But y'all think about that for next meeting, kinda, and I'll talk to him, because it's not really, I guess, I don't wanna say not fair, but if you're gonna let the man post a bond and put up, it's 2.5 times the road, so if the road's cost 50,000 to pay, it's 150,000 what the bond has to stand for, if you tears the road up on repetitive use. But yet we have trucks that use it 3 or 4 times, they don't have to post a bond, so just gonna try to get a little definement on that, kind of figure out, you know, where we at there.
Well, like in, my situation,
Y'all got a bond.
we got a bond. We had 3, 4, 5, 6 trucks a day running.
So that's a good
And
bond.
that's competitive, that's
Competitive use it is.
Right. If I only had 2 trucks
A week or a
a
month.
week or a month running, I'd complain if I had to get a bond.
And the reason I'm bringing this up, I think we got a gentleman that's fixing to probably, in the next year or so, the old quarry foxes over there, and maybe haul come out or some rock, and he's gonna use the city road. I wish they could go out and go across and come back out on 377. It's TDA property, so I don't know how that works right there, that's his baby there, but
Yeah.
if he could go across, there's an old road bed, he could go across and come out on 377, he would go like property on the state road, and that would eliminate the use of that road.
Yeah.
When you start putting 4 or 5, I don't know, I'm just using this as a figure, but 4 or 5 dump trucks on the road a day, that's quite a bit of roads on Hog Jaw or Lakeview, whatever it calls it. That's quite a bit of trucks a day on the road. And a road won't hold up to that.
No.
No way.
Well, let me put it to you like this. If they're gonna haul rock out of there and they're gonna come out on Lakeview Drive, and they're gonna have 3 or 4 trucks a week, then, and not get they don't have to have a bond, then I won't be out here complaining.
That's the point I'm bringing up, very important. But they're gonna have a bond, I'm just telling you that's what's gonna happen, but I'm just trying to get definement on,
Yeah.
on that repetitive use.
What are they doing right now,
Work.
over there?
I don't know if he's even got a little crusher over there, he's got.
There ain't nothing over there.
Oh, well, he might have put no equipment or nothing.
Nothing.
I guess it's been pulled out then, I don't know.
They dug out a bunch of rocks and busted up a bunch of rocks and boulders and put them everywhere. I've been putting products and, they ain't hiding a herd of them.
Well, they ain't hauling, that's good.
Maybe when I thought, with that situation.
Might not have to too. Anybody got anything else? Their motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Their second?
Second.
All in favor saying aye?
Aye.
I make adjourn.
That's like one of y'all gentlemen, that's
Jason, how you doing, buddy?
taking me down the road.
We're doing all right.
Well, they got yours, man. I don't
Yeah.
Now, I want to turn that pressure back on.
I will. Yeah.
John, you need police over here?